Absolutely.
So,
yep.
yeah, that's where my put up or shut up is. Either trade this man or you sit everybody down in the room and say, this is what's happening.
Yep.
You all suck it up and we will see what we can do, but this is the team you have, LeBron. Figure it out. Russ, get over your feelings. I think with Darvin Ham the other day, that again, I'm kind of putting the coaching staff up with the front office as well. You can't say all the stuff that they're saying. I like the tough approach. If you're going, well, I can't have somebody all up into their feelings. That was his statement when they were asked if they would put Russ on the bench. Okay, fair enough. But you can't just say that one day and then backtrack it the next day and then
you got to do it.
You do it or
see that answer. See
do
that
it,
answer. That
don't do it.
Yeah,
don't be all big and tough in front of the camera and then.
No, see, that's an answer you give after you've already done it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something where you've already made the move, and it's obviously controversial. You know damn well the press is going to ask you about it. They're going to hound you about it until you come along. And then you come along and say, I'm sorry, I need to do what's best for this team. And yeah, I don't need to have somebody all up in their feelings about
then it's what puts everything back on Russ. The camera's focused on
done
him.
it.
They look at him because you've done your job.
Yep.
You've done what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
What was best for business.
But we also,
not doing what's best
and
for
this is,
right
and again,
now.
this is not condoning the coach's position here, but you also got to wonder how much of it is front office, back office, or whatever, speaking in the ear or whatever, and saying like maybe you got someone who's like, we just want stars, and they don't understand it. You know what I mean? They don't understand it past that.
I mean, I like fantasy sports too,
right?
So.
But that's not going to win you an NBA championship or get you deep into the playoffs or even get you into the playoff tournament, which I don't see this team doing.
No. So, yeah, I agree. So put up or
100,
shut
like,
up.
yeah, LA, put up or shut up all the way, like 100%. And so here's the thing. So my put up or shut up for this episode is about Russell Westbrook. Now, here's the trick. It's actually not a counter to what Ian was talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about at first thinking about going like head to head, like whose fault really is it?
But I can't here. I can't deny what the front office in LA is doing or not doing. And
you put this together.
I can't put blame on the people around Russell, nor can I necessarily blame Russell Westbrook for all of the woes in LA. That's not what I'm talking about.
No.
My put up or shut up about Russell Westbrook is him as an NBA player, period.
Stemming back to OKC.
Every single stop
That's
he's
what, 3
made.
stops now? 2 stops?
At least.
Yeah.
At least. So what is this? What, OKC, Houston, LA?
Houston. No, didn't he go to Washington?
Oh, he did go to Washington.
Yes. Forget that one too. I did
well,
the same thing.
You can't. I'm sorry. You can't blame me. You can't blame me for forgetting about anyone going to Washington. I mean, that's where characters.
Anyhow,
it was okay. So first of all,
I had to say this. This is just
my team.
This is the best part. This is the best part for everybody that's watching.
My team was the Bullets.
True. The Washington Bullets.
Let's not even.
Well,
I don't blame them. I don't blame them for changing the name, especially for all the stuff that was going on in DC at the time.
Yeah, but that was on the team. So you had Arenas bringing guns into the locker room.
No. Like Arenas came in after. What's so funny is Arenas came in after the name change.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. No, I was talking about
like,
they changed the name to the Wizards. They changed it. Well, they wanted to change it to something from the Bullets because of all the homicides happening in the DC area. So fair enough. But but especially right now after the name change, things went way. I mean, not the Bullets were never like that great of a team, but at the very least, they were like a team I can kind of have some kind of like underdog kind of thing going on, and they were close to me. Like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
but
anyhow,
especially right now,
total segue. Yeah.
Other than to say, like, you can't blame anybody for forgetting anybody's stint in the Wizards. Also, it was kind of a blink and you miss it kind of a thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, before like all this, so it really wasn't like like he had like some huge like stench of his career. I'm about to say stench of his career. That's probably not that wrong.
That's not far off. I think that's actually pretty apropos.
Russell Westbrook should have been playing in the late 90s or the early 2000s. He does not belong in today's NBA. He should have been like a counter to, say, like an Iverson.
Oh,
or to
absolutely.
be able to play in a league that allowed like a guy like Iverson to play, where it was more just drive to the basket, volume shooting, but not necessarily making a lot. But
Iverson's a great comp. I'd never really thought about.
No, I mean he would have fit in a league if again where a league exists where Allen Iverson could be the star that he was.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook would have shined in that NBA.
I'm not even so sure that that's not a good comp, personality wise as well.
Oh hell yeah.
That's a really good
Although
call.
Westbrook's got a better stat line in terms of like the triple doubles and that kind of thing. But overall,
he's bigger. I'm not even saying it's hard.
I think he would have had more longevity in a sense because he's bigger, and again I think just physically just like I wouldn't say he's tougher than Iverson, but Russell Westbrook had like the build to back it up.
He's got more body than Iverson, way more. I mean, Iverson's not taller than me. I've met him. We're 5'10".
You're a Virginia boy. Yeah. I know. He's listed at like 6 foot.
He's 6'1",
something like that. No,
5'10".
It's
at
like
most
your boy
5'11".
It's like your boy HBK. I mean.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I like. Russell is like a throwback to that kind of a league,
style and league,
where that could work, where that could really function and really have like not just longevity, but also be the kind of thing that you could build playoff runs into, right? And again, you got to look at. I mean, for all of Iverson's ability and everything else, he was only ever really able to get like deep, especially like deep into the Eastern playoffs and stuff like that. They weren't like super ready, steady contenders for a championship.
Allen
Iverson. You know what I mean?
They got to the championship.
They got to the,
in
but
2000, but they weren't. But no one believed that they were beating Shaq and Kobe. So,
but also there was like any major like real thought that they were going to be able to do it like again and again and again.
No.
It was really going to be like a one shot, maybe two. But again, also, I mean, a lot of it, again, we talked about, again, Iverson the dude played like a 6'7" driving small forward abandon. Back in the day.
And that's how Russell played as well. And the fact is, anyone with a half a brain knows you don't take that and put it next to LeBron.
Well, but again, I mean, also like in today's NBA, it's also very hard to figure out where to fit that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like LA's got to give LA's coach credit, at least for the statement, and though he didn't have the balls to put anything behind it. You need to put him. You need to put him. And if they continue with that, mazel tov.
Yeah.
But for right now, he's had a history in multiple teams under multiple coaching staff, multiple front offices, and people just keep letting him do what he's doing. And yes, he individually can be considered a very, very good player, especially in his prime.
Sure.
But it doesn't work, especially in terms of building a championship team around. And since he's someone that, always has to have the ball in his hands, You have to build the team around him. And I just don't know if you can do it.
In a weird way, he's a smaller, and this is a stretch what I'm about to say, but conceptually, what we talked about with LeBron was, what do you build around LeBron? Bunch of shooters. Yeah, and so that he can drive and take the ball off the bounce and, go in and do all the stuff that LeBron can do. In a much smaller package, that's sort of what Russ does.
So here's the problem.
In a much smaller package.
But it's not even just the size. If it was just the size, I'd be perfectly fine with that, and as an approach, and to try and figure out a way to effectively build around him. But here's the problem. That's the thing. Like, he'll get you 10 assists.
Yeah, he will stat fill. Wonderful stat filler. I mean, he is me playing NBA 2K trying to win the
like fantasy football. Fantasy basketball. He's
love him in fantasy
great
basketball.
For that.
He's
great for that.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Right.
Russ does not have neither the just general passing ability, especially in the heat. He's good at setting up and doing like easy assists.
That guy's wide open.
Exactly.
Here you go.
And the guy has to get himself there.
Yeah. There's no leading.
Russ is not going to get you there.
Mm-mm.
He also has already proven, especially this kind of shows up in his defense. He does not have the wherewithal of where people are on the court that a LeBron does. Now, granted, LeBron is one of the best in the league as far as overall court awareness.
Comparison.
But if you look at like even just general point guards, combo guards, hell, there's small forwards, hell, there's centers. I can name any position in the league playing all kinds, but they have better general understanding of where everyone is.
Russ has shown
the only thing he sees is that rim.
Yeah, but Russ has had a problem with that on a personal, professional, on the court, off the court level.
Yeah.
Russ tends to have some perception issues. It was a disconnect. I used to, as a Bulls fan, Derrick Rose, in a different way, would have a disconnect from like reality on making statements and talking about, I just got to be able to feed my family. Well, you're making millions of dollars. I don't think feeding your family is really that hard, dude.
Right.
It shouldn't be.
Right.
Russ will make statements that just are like, I don't know that you in reality are really that tight. I don't know that you even know each other. I don't think you've seen each other
Kyrie.
for a while. And
that's part two.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Man, it's like the team of non-reality.
Yeah.
They're all in the they are. Yeah. Kang has already won. So Russ has always been sort of that guy. And that was, like I said, if we had this discussion last year when he first came to LA and it was all starting to come unraveled, I would have placed all the blame on Russ and not seen the bigger picture. But now you've had for so long.
And again, see, now when I saw it, I never saw where he and LeBron could fit outside of one thing. And this is my put up or shut up for Russell. Get your ass on the bench and come off there, bruh. That's
what is best for business.
Exactly. Because honestly, right now, especially if here's the thing. Here's the thing. And again, if he would have truly excelled in Houston, I would have a lot more caveats to talk about here. I'd have a lot more pause. But then, because I say, like, I see Houston as sort of that litmus test where you could effectively gauge what the guy might be able to really do. But the resume speaks for itself. He unfortunately, despite all of his talent, has no business as a starter in this league. He sure as hell don't need to be a shooting guard. He needs to be a point guard. And I think where he can really come in and actually bring value to a team where you already have a solid starting core in place to be able to be that,
which is debatable if they do
right now. I'm not talking. I'm not saying LA does, but I'm saying in a scenario when you have that,
yes,
coming off the bench and being the general for that secondary squad, surround him with shooters. And
there's a world that he is still that 25 to 30 minute, excuse me, 25 to 30 minute guy.
Yeah.
That is going to average, okay, he's not going to average 25 and 10 and 10, but there's a real world where he could easily be 18.
That's what I was going to say. 18, like 18, like 18,
and be
8,
a
and
major
7.
component. You bring Russell Westbrook, an engaged, fully committed Russell Westbrook off the bench.
Yes.
What second unit? The Bulls, I'm look at my team. So I'm a Bulls fan. You look at my team, the Bulls are bringing Dragic off the bench. Dragic is like 900 years old. But he's still so much better than normal bench players.
Right.
That he's rolling out there, and the Celtics game was a perfect example.
Yeah.
He brought in the bench, and the Alex Caruso's, the Dragic, those guys. They're
carving him up.
Yeah. They ran him off the court.
Yeah.
If you bring, and they're nowhere near the talent of Russell Westbrook.
That's
I'm not even slightly describing that. But if you bring that guy off the bench, super sub type of level, and he's engaged and fully committed.
You're talking about a no-brainer 6th man of the year.
Easy. And come playoff time, teams wouldn't. I mean, they'll be scared of LeBron because it's LeBron, but they're going to have to figure out a way. Look, LeBron could get 20, and Russ has it's his 20 off the bench that you're like, okay, we got nothing for that. We're done.
And the way that he could do it, and again, if you surround him with guys that are very good at 3-point shooting and getting open themselves, but also if you have someone like Westbrook against a secondary team, they're gonna collapse on him.
Yeah,
the defense is gonna have to collapse on him. Otherwise, he's just gonna drive it down their throat.
Sure.
And so then that's where he thrives, because then it's like, oh, okay, it's coming in. That's where he can be like, oh, I'm getting my double. I can at least get doubles here easy, because then I'm going to get my points. I'm going to get my points. But then they're collapsing up on me, and I've got shooters around me on the second squad. I can just pass out to them. And again, even if they're shooting like mid-30s percent-wise on the threes, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's going to be kick out, or otherwise I'm going to just shove it down your throat.
Right.
And God forbid if you're coming in with like some 6'7" center.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because I'm going to destroy you,
Right.
And, as like at 6'3", 6'4", whatever he is, he still has enough power where he's just gonna run those guys just through it. And the next thing you know, they're gonna bring their starters back out, and it's like, oh, okay, then we'll sub out and basically just have him be like the basically set it up so that you don't have LeBron and him on the floor at the same time any more than you have to.
That's really what it comes down to. And for those games that Russ is going to be Russ, then you know that pretty early on, and you change your substitutions.
And you pull him out. Yeah, but that's where his egos start coming in. And it's like, okay, dude, hey, look, you want more floor time?
Yeah.
You want more floor time? Get more efficient.
Stupid shots. Yeah.
Be more efficient. And again, that's my thing. And it's just more about it has less to do with the fact that he's on the Lakers. Really, to me, it really probably wouldn't matter where he plays right now. He's just one of those guys where he needs to, look at what like Carmelo Anthony did, right?
Sure.
Talking about a guy who had sort of a similar kind of mentality, was always known as a black hole.
Yeah.
In terms of like the ball goes in, never comes out except for towards the basket.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now he realized, and maybe you know what? Maybe that's what Russ needs. Maybe Russ needs a time where it's like, man, you just ain't got a home right now, brother. And
the
then
thing is,
mean,
they said it on I keep blanking on his name right now. He's on with Stephen A. a lot of times. Perk. Big Perk.
Yeah, Big Perk. Yeah.
Russ, his contract, as large as it is over at the end of the season. There is a part of the multiverse out there. There is one of those that has Russell Westbrook not in the league next year.
I would argue that there's a strong chance. Given the size of that contract right now, how do you fix that? You let him sit a year.
Yeah. Because
then you're not the man in that. You're not the man in that money anymore.
No.
And then it's like, okay, how do you play? And Perk knows because Perk played with the fool.
Yeah. And he's buddies with him. Like, he likes Russ. I don't think Russ is a bad human being.
I don't think he is, because you don't hear any of the kind of stuff. You don't hear any of the kind of stuff about this guy. He's a little weird.
No, he's weird. But that's okay. A lot of star players are weird. Like, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. I wouldn't call him somebody that I'd want my son hanging out and emulating. You
wouldn't call him. You wouldn't call his personal life stable.
No.
But yeah. I don't even think Russ necessarily even has like any of that going on. I just think he's a little bit of a weird cat and everything. But I think everything's he's pretty clean. Haven't heard any much bad shit about him. It's just his ego as part of just being on a team that I think right now is really what's killing him, especially at this stage of his career. And so, dude, you need to be able to, if anything else, what would be like, you talk about like a good, like kind of the resurrection story or that kind of a thing, right? Where if you have a guy who either maybe he takes a year off, he sits on a bench for maybe a year, and then maybe because of that journey, then he realizes what he does have to do. Next thing you know, he's starting and he's like the best version that Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? That would be ideal.
That stage.
That's the thing. This should have happened like 3 years ago.
Sure.
To give him more time.
Yeah.
But, I think that, even if he had like 1 year where it was like, now we get to see exactly what Russell really could have been, I'd be all for it. Because, the dude's got like, and it's weird talking about him at this stage of his career, but you want to talk about potential.
Yeah.
To do so many things as long as you're not scoring like from like, like you're not jumping up a zillion shots. You're driving to the basket. Jump shots here and there. Fair enough. Like and that's the other thing too, is to, again, it's like, okay, man, you've been in the league this long, because we'll talk about this when we talk about the part 2 of this as well. But there's another person on the East Coast that it's really kind of come along where it's like, man, okay, how have you not worked on this?
Have you not done anything in the summertime? Nothing. In the league for a long time. And maybe this is a good spot.
It's all mental, but I think it is. I think, yeah. So, all right. So my hot take was saying, or not hot take, I'm sorry. My put up or shut up was regarding the Lakers front office. You either trade this man in Russell Westbrook, or you don't, and you tell everybody to suck it up and stop trying to do the character assassination that has been going on for about 3 or 4 months now. And figure it out. That and actually bring in like better pieces.
Yeah, because it's up to you now.
You put this
together.
Yeah.
You put it together. You knew LeBron played the way LeBron plays. You know Anthony Davis is a shell of himself. You know Russell Westbrook isn't exactly called a team player.
And
you knew that he couldn't shoot. And you put them all together.
And he's worth how much?
You know what? Our solving piece will be to go get Patrick Beverly, who also can't shoot.
Oh my God.
We'll put him on the team.
And you got rid of KCP. You got rid of Caruso. You got rid of Caruso
was too expensive. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, yep. Their loss, your gain. Yeah. But yeah, I think, and then again, just to kind of more, again, I think also just to kind of add context here about the Russell Westbrook situation. And again, my put up or shut up actually has nothing to do with the fact that he's on the Lakers, although, no, he's not a good fit there. I don't know if he really is a good fit as a starter on anywhere. So really my put up or shut up is, you know what? Russ. I think at this stage, I think it really boils down to finish off your contract here, take the obligatory year off,
find yourself,
figure out, just kind of get your head right.
Who you are right now, not who you were.
Exactly.
Who you are.
And then get onto a team and be willing to come off the bench where you can just freaking dominate and destroy people. That's really what it boils down to with this dude. And I mean, because to me, again, like to what we were talking about at the end here, I actually think in general, I think Russell's a good dude. And so I think that would actually be the best thing for him, for his career, especially in terms of how people talk about him.
It would be, I was going to say, because if you look at the stuff that he's done, Russ has some real, like, long-term stats when you look back, and, he's the only other guy to ever average a triple-double, and he did it multiple times.
Yeah.
That's huge. People should be applauding that.
Sure.
But unfortunately, it's the narrative along with him. So
right, yeah. What does that mean? Yeah. And be able to put a cap on that, yeah, I think that would be great.
It would be a nice bow to be able to put to his career and get the title and all that stuff. I mean, that's really what it's not like the man doesn't want to win. Like, you don't be.
Oh, no,
some
absolutely.
Professional athletes don't. You can probably kind of tell, but for the most part, they all want to win. It's not like he doesn't want to win.
Oh, yeah. But
it's just the mindset.
Yep.
One thing I will say, if you have gotten to this part of the video,
thank you.
You're our person. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Love you. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good, YouTube-y stuff.
But also, then you now get we've alluded to this, but there's going to be a part 2 to this conversation.
Yeah,
we're going to move out east, where we're going to have some put-ups or shut-ups with a few cats out there. Probably not a big shock to anyone, but there's some people out there that really, really, really need to figure out what they want to do with their careers at this point and this stage.
Something about not shooting comes to
mind as part of it. Yep. All right. Thank you so much, everyone who did listen to this. And yeah, do all the great YouTube social media nonsense that makes the almighty algorithm love us.
It's all about the community, so it's about the talking back and forth. Jared and I talk to each other. We want to hear what you think as well.
Yeah, we talk each other's heads off.
Wherever I may put it later. So I haven't learned that part yet. I'm still getting that part. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so with that, this is Getting Work. Signing off.
Later, fam.